Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to this video series on Cisco ASA firewall configuring RIP. The configuration of the Cisco ASA is simple but somewhat limited. Figure 5.8 illustrates the first example topology, basic RIP configuration. So RIP is routing information protocol. In the example shown in figure 5.8, the Cisco ASA is connected to our router R1 running RIP v2. The router is learning routes from two other routers, R2 and R3. Subsequently, routes to all these networks are being advertised by the router connected to the Cisco ASA. The Cisco ASA is also injecting a default route to the inside router. To configure RIP using ASDM, complete the following steps. Step 1. Navigate to Configuration, Device Setup, Routing RIP, Setup, and click Enable RIP routing as shown in figure 5.9. When you enable RIP, it is enabled on all interfaces. When you select this checkbox, the other fields on this page are also available. Step 2. To enable automatic route summarization, click the Enable RIP routing. This option is enabled by default when you enable RIP in ASDM. Step 3. To specify the RIP version used by the Cisco ASA, check Enable RIP version, then select version 1 or version 2. In this example, version 2 is used. This setting can also be configured on a per interface basis in the ASDM interface configuration section. Step 4. In this example, the Cisco ASA should generate a route advertisement, so the internal routers use the Cisco ASA as their default gateway. Check the Enable. Step 5. Define the networks for the RIP routing process under the IP network to add section. The network number specified must not contain any subnet information. There is no limit to the number of networks you can add to the RIP configuration. RIP routing updates are sent and received through only those interfaces on the networks you define in this section. In this example, the 10.10.1.0 network is used. Step 6. You can configure the Cisco ASA to listen for RIP routing broadcasts globally on all interfaces and use that information to populate the routing tables, but to not broadcast routing updates from the global passive option under the passive interfaces section. In this example, only the inside interface is selected as a passive RIP interface using the options under the passive interface table. Step 7. Click Apply to apply the configuration changes in ASDM. Step 8. Click Save to end the configuration to the Cisco ASA. Example 5.3 shows the CLI commands configured by the Cisco ASA in the Cisco ASA by ASDM. So you can see here figure 5.3 RIP CLI commands. The RIP command enables RIP on the Cisco. The networks specified for the RIP routing process are defined by the network command. Note that in this example, the ASA has configured 10.10.1.0. However, the Cisco ASA CLI automatically summarizes this network to 10.0.0.0 with the passive interface command. The Cisco ASA interface listens for RIP routing packets and uses that information to update its routing table, but it does not advertise any routing updates through the specified interface. The desired result is for the Cisco ASA to learn the internal routes and advertise default route information. To do this, the default information originate command is used. The version command specifies what RIP version is used. RIP version 2 is used in this example. So you can see here, example 5.4 shows the output of the show route command after learning routes from R1. RIP authentication. RIPv1 does not support authentication. Cisco ASA supports two modes of RIPv2 authentication: plain text authentication and message digest 5 MD5 authentication. So you can see here figure 10 MD5 RIP authentication example. To enable RIP authentication using MD5, complete the following steps. Step 1. Log into ASDM, navigate to Configuration, Device Setup, Routing, RIP Interface. Step 2. Select the interface where RIP is enabled and click on Edit as shown in figure 5.11. In this example, the inside interface is used. Step 3. The Edit RIP Interface entry dialog box is shown as illustrated in figure 5.11. Step 4. Optional. Check the Override Global Send Version checkbox to select the RIP version sent by the interface. In this example, RIP version 2 is used. You can disable this option to restore the global setting. Step 5. Check the Enable Authentication checkbox to enable RIP authentication. Step 6. Enter the key to be used for RIP authentication under the key field. In this example, the key super secret key is used. This key can contain up to 16 characters. Step 7. Enter the key used by the RIP authentication process. In this example, the key ID value of 1 is used. The valid values are from 0 to 255. Step 8. Under the authentication mode, select MD5. Step 9. Click Apply to apply the configuration changes in ASDM. Step 10. Click Save to save the configuration on the Cisco ASA. Example 5.5 shows the commands sent by ASDM to the Cisco ASA. RIP route filtering. The Cisco ASA can be configured to prevent other routers on the local network from learning specific RIP routes. Similarly, it can be configured to filter routes from other routing devices in the network. Figure 5.12 illustrates the topology used for the next example. The goal in this example is to configure the Cisco ASA to filter the route for the 10.10.4.0/24 network from the RIP neighbor router R1. To configure the Cisco ASA to filter the route from the 10.10.4.0/24 network from R1, complete the following steps. Step 1. Log into the ASDM and navigate to Configuration, Device Setup, Routing, RIP, Filter Rules. Step 2. Click on Add to create a new filter rule. Step 3. The dialog box shown in figure 5.3 is displayed. Step 4. Select in under the direction field to filter incoming RIP updates from another routing device, in this case R1. To prevent other routing devices from learning one or more IP routes, you can suppress routes from being advertised in routing updates by selecting out in the direction field. However, in this example, the goal is to filter incoming routes from R1. Step 5. Select the interface where the routes will be filtered. In this example, R1 resides in the inside interface. Step 6. Click on Add to add the filter rule. The network rule dialog box is shown in figure 5.14 is displayed. So you can see here figure 513 RIP filtering rules in ASDM. Figure 514 network rule dialog box. Step 7, select deny under the action field to deny a specific network or IP address. Step 8, the goal is to filter the incoming route advertisement for the 10.10.4.0/24 network. Enter 10.10.4.0 under the IP address field as shown in figure 514. Step 9, the 10.10.4.0 is a 24-bit network. Enter 255.255.255.0 in the netmask field as shown in figure 514. Step 10, click OK to add the new rule in the network rule dialog box. Step 11, click OK to add the new filter in the add filter rules dialog box. Step 12, click apply to apply the configuration changes in ASDM and add them to the Cisco ASA's running configuration. Step 13, click save to save the configuration in the Cisco ASA. Example 5.6 shows the CLI commands configured in the Cisco ASA by ASDM when creating these RIP filtering rules. Example 5.7 shows the Cisco ASA routing table using the show route command after the filter configured in the previous example has been updated. So configuring RIP redistribution. The Cisco ASA can be configured to redistribute routes from other routing processes into RIP. Complete the following steps to configure RIP redistribution using ASDM. Step 1. Log into the ASDM and navigate to Configuration, Device Setup, Routing, RIP Redistribution. Step 2. Select the routing protocol being redistributed into the RIP routing process under the protocol selection. You can select from the following protocols: static, used to redistribute static routes; connected, used to redistribute directly connected networks; OSPF, used to redistribute learned by specific OSPF routing process; EIGRP, used to redistribute routes learned by a specific EIGRP routing process. Step 3. Enter the metric type and value under the metric section. This is the RIP metric being applied to the redistribute routes. The metric in this example is set to number 10. Step 4. You can configure route maps to specify with more granularity which routes from the specified routing process are redistributed into RIP. Step 5. Click OK on the Add Redistribution dialog box. Step 6. Click Apply to apply the configuration changes in ASDM and add them to the Cisco ASA's running configuration software. Step 7. Click on Save to save the configuration in the Cisco ASA. So I'm going to leave it here today for this video. If you like listening, please consider like, sharing and subscribing. Thank you.